Good morning. President Trump got so mad at Russian leader Vladimir Putin yesterday morning that he actually wrote something critical. After Russia had launched a massive missile and drone strike on Kyiv, Mr. Trump took to Truth Social to denounce the attack that killed at least a dozen Ukrainians. Quote, "I am not happy with the Russian strike on Kyiv, not necessary and very bad timing. Vladimir, stop!" In all caps. Well, he didn't stop, with reports this morning of another round of missile drone attacks in smaller cities, killing at least 8 people. On the flip side, a Russian general has been killed by a car bomb in Moscow. The Trump team has already put a proposal on the table to let Russia keep basically all of the territory it has captured so far in the current war in Ukraine, plus keep Crimea from the previous war in Ukraine, which wasn't much of a war. On top of that, the generous offer that Trump's team is making is that Ukraine should never be allowed to join NATO. Judging by what was said during the campaign and after the election, no one should be surprised by the Trump White House largely siding with Putin. Russia has hold of about 20% of its neighbor, and Putin certainly thought it might be easy to capture as a whole. Instead, led by the U.S. and NATO, Ukraine's was able to defend itself against Vladimir Putin's invasion. Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, had to understand that with November's election results, things might go south quickly for his country. Trump is no friend of Ukraine, first made clear in the phone call during the first Trump term that led to the first Trump impeachment. So with Mr. Trump looking to force Zelensky into a deal to give up so much, but now angered with Putin, in the Oval Office yesterday, he was asked what concessions Russia might be making.
And we are using a lot of pressure on both. You know, if you think we're just in there because we're nice people, and we are nice people, but we're using a lot of pressure on both.
What concessions, Mr. President, and to your national security team, what concessions has Russia offered up thus far to get to the point where you're closer to peace?
Stopping the war. Stopping taking the whole country. Pretty big concession.
Well, first of all, Russia has not stopped the war. A dozen people or more died yesterday morning. Plus, the one big factor on Russia not taking the whole country is military aid that the U.S. and NATO supplied. Ukraine held its own pretty well, it seems. Zelensky posted on X Thursday, quote, "Putin is not afraid, and why should he be, if the United States is willing to force Kyiv into a semi-surrender." A follow-up to yesterday's claim by China that talks over tariff issues with the U.S. have not been held. Later in the day, Mr. Trump saying, quote, "They had a meeting this morning. It doesn't matter who they is, but they had a meetings this morning," end quote. Well, if only they would tell us whether they were actually meeting or not. The White House never explained the statements, but Beijing is sticking with what he'd said. And as I brought up Monday in the podcast, the president once again diverging into the unbelievable. Thursday, he claimed anew that 3 states have average gasoline prices at $1.98 per gallon. And today, as Monday, a simple check of AAA's gas price webpage reveals no state is anywhere near that low. The lowest is Oklahoma at $2.72 per gallon. The national average is $3.17. With ear on the White House, I'm Bob Costantini.